Welcome to day 4 of the Stress Less Free Challenge. So today's about movement because many of us live quite sedentary lifestyles. We sit a lot, we sit in our cars, we sit at our desks, we are time poor, so we don't have a lot of time to go and move our bodies, and yet our bodies are built to be moved. Interesting. So one of the things that we did talk about, so remember day 1 was knowing about the physiology effects and the psychology effects that stress has on us. We also learned about how our bodies hold the tension and, by tensing your muscles and relaxing them, we retrain our brain to notice the difference between a tense muscle and a relaxed muscle. We also learned some of the things around language and thoughts and how by pivoting those, that will also help to reduce your stress levels as you look at your world differently. Remembering that stress is absolutely an internal thing based on how we are responding to our external world. To add another layer on top of all of that, we want to add in the movement. So we really need to be moving our bodies. Now, as I said, a lot of us are time poor, a lot of us sit for our jobs. I recently invested in a stand-up desk because I was noticing how much I was sitting, and I know that it's not good for our bodies. So being able to stand, what that does is you're having to use more energy in order to move the body, but it also helps you be able to position it properly, structuring your shoulders, your ribs and your hips all in alignment, putting your weight back in your heels, shoulders back, keeping your posture, because remembering our posture influences how we feel as well. So all of this it all combines together to give you an overall bigger benefit to how you're feeling. So movement is one of the keys. Now, obviously going out for a walk, getting into nature, I would highly recommend, but that's not always feasible. By going out and moving the body, there's a few things that happen. Like if you go for a walk, one, you're changing the scenery. So if you're kind of stuck at home and you're fretting over the bills, or you're worried about what's happening, or you've got some stuff going on, by being able to break the cycle of that and step outside and go for a walk, one, you're going to feel better. Two, you're going to be able to clear your head and get better thoughts. And that's not going for a walk with your headphones on, listening to things. What it is, it's about you going for a walk and being present in the moment. How do we do that? Listen to nature. Can you hear the birds? Can you hear the breeze ruffling the trees? Can you notice the little insects that fly around? Maybe there's a butterfly or a grasshopper or something of that description. Maybe, where I am, there's kangaroos. So, trying to find and spot the kangaroos. So being able to be present in the moment is by just using all of your senses. Using all of our senses. Now we have our sight, our hearing, we have our taste, we have our smell, and we have our feel, right? Now that feel when we're walking could be the warmth of the sun on our skin, or maybe the gentle breeze cooling us down as the wind blows. So whatever it is, you want to be using all of your senses because that's going to help you keep you in the present moment. Like I said before, if you're depressed, you're in the past. If you're anxious, you're in the future. If you're at peace, you're in the present moment because this is the moment that we have. And when we are anxious and we're stressing and we're worrying, we are completely 100% future-based. We are not being present. So one of the tips to bring us back to the moment and that moment of clarity that we can gain is by using all of our senses. So a really good way to do that is, take note of what you look at. What trees do you see? What flowers? What colors? Can you see the birds? Can you see the bugs, the butterflies? Right? What do you hear? Can you hear the birds? Can you hear the rustling of the leaves? Can you hear, like a car in the distance? What do you smell? Can you smell the flowers? Can you smell the, I don't know, like the smell of the bush? It has a smell to it. You know, if you're walking the beach, you can smell the salt air. You can hear the seagulls. You can see the waves. What can you taste? You know, maybe you just had lunch. Maybe you just had a coffee. Maybe, you know, you can taste the salt air. You know, what can you feel? The sunshine, the coolness of the breeze. Like, what is it that you can feel? What is it that you can see? What is it that you can hear? What is it that you can taste? And what is it that you can smell? Every time you go, okay, try and think of 3 things I can hear. I can hear the birds. I can hear the wind rustling in the trees, and I can hear a car in the background. Okay, what can I see? Well, I can see the trees, I can see the footpath, I can see the bird, I can see a butterfly, I can see a really pretty flower. Great. What can you smell? I can smell the bush, I can smell the fumes of a car, I can smell the dampness of the undergrowth because it rained, for example. What can you taste? I can taste the coffee I just had, or I can taste this ocean air, the salt. And what can you feel? You know what? I can feel the sunshine on my face, or I can feel it on my skin, or I can feel my hair moving in a gentle breeze as I'm walking. So by being able to pick 2 to 5 things on each of those senses, you are no longer out here, you are actually back here. So not only are you able to clear your head and get back to the moment, but you're also moving your body. And while you're moving your body, you're moving the tension that the stress holds in your muscles. Okay? Which is really important, that we're constantly moving our bodies. Now, sometimes we can't get out to go for a walk. So how can we do it? Well, at home, we can go out in the backyard or onto the balcony, or just sit in a really nice place in your home. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? Now, with the sights, it might, pick a color. I'm going to pick red. So what are 3 red things I can see in this room? Or what's my favorite color? So all of these things help keep you present in the moment, whether you're out in nature or you're doing it at home. How do you move if you can't walk outside? Well, there's another thing I really want to teach you, because partly, as I said, being able to move the tension out of our body helps us to relax. Coupling that with the breathing, that is, I keep saying how important the breath is, and it's vital. Adding that with paying attention to our senses, and all of these things, when we put them all together, will help us reduce our stress down. Plus, writing them down in your worry pad, breaking them down into what's avoidable and unavoidable. Can you see, if you implement these steps on a daily basis, how different you're going to feel about your stress? Because this is what I know. If you don't do anything different, nothing changes. If you don't pivot your thinking, you're going to create the same. If you're looking at life as a massive big stress ball, that's what you're going to see. It's up to you. So if you don't like the stress in your life, you can absolutely bring it down. But you've got to do the work. I can't do it all for you. Do I have some tools that can help shift it really quickly? 100% I do. But these are the tools that you can do on a daily basis, because I'm not with you 24/7. Right? So these things work. And I know they work because I use them in my own life when things get a bit on top of me, and it happens. And I also have helped thousands of clients over the 20 years I've been working as a counsellor and an advanced MACE practitioner, that these things work if you use them. So if you can't get out into nature, one of the things I'd like you to do is, either find a really comfortable chair to sit in, but put your feet flat on the ground, or stand. Now, as I said, standing is more beneficial because you're using more energy. You can move your body better when you're doing it. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. So if you want to participate with me, that's fine. If you want to sit back and laugh at me, that's fine too. But what we're going to do is we're going to shake our body. Now, what I like to do is I like to visualize the chunks of all the stress, like maybe it's debt, maybe it's the kids, maybe it's the job, maybe it's the housework, maybe it's the workload. And I picture them as like Klingons, so to speak, sticking all over you. Then you just close your eyes. So you plant your feet shoulder width apart, so you've got a real solid base. Put your weight into it, bend your knees slightly. And then you're going to close your eyes and you're going to shake. So you start shaking your hands, you shake your arms, and you start shaking your body. And as you're shaking and you're wiggling your legs and you're shaking everything, I want you to picture all of those stress things. They might be balls or blocks falling off you. So picture them dropping away. Now, what's happening is you're using visualization. So when we visualize stuff, it's more likely to come to fruition because we are visual people. But also, you shaking your body, what you're doing is you're removing the tension out of it. What I find is when people do this, they go, oh yeah, you know, I'm shaking, but not really giving it a good shake. You want to give it a really good shake. You want to be shaking your body like you're flicking some creature off you that you don't want anymore. Imagine you've got a spider crawling on you. So you flick it off. It's really flicking. Now, obviously, if you've got injuries, you want to be careful and not do anything that's going to harm yourself, but you want to be moving. So that's one way. If you can't get out into nature and you can't go for a walk around your block, around your yard, up the beach, up the road, around the local park, if you can't do any of that or get out into the bush, then shaking it off. So getting into the habit of doing it on a daily basis, maybe at the end of the day, shake it off. Imagine it just falling off you. Shaking it off, concentrating on your 5 senses will bring you back to this moment. So day 4 is all about movement. Now, I've talked about how to tense and relax your muscles, and if you want that sheet, comment muscle below. But if you would also like this technique, and I have another technique called the butterfly technique, which is basically just using your arms up and you raise them up above your head and then you bring them down. And you bring them up and you bring it down. But as you're doing it, you're breathing. So you're breathing, inhaling as you go up and you're exhaling as you come down. Now this also will help to de-stress, because what it does is it helps you concentrating on the movement to be in line with your breathing. That is going to help you stay nice and calm. So I'm going to give these worksheets as a bonus actually. So they're going to come out in your email that you get for day 4. If you want the extra sheet of the muscle tensing and relaxing, then comment the muscle below and we'll be able to shoot that through to you. I'm also going to be, tomorrow is day 5, it's the last day, and I've really enjoyed sharing this with you. I really hope you got something from it. And what I would like to do is give you an offer. So I talked about the calming sequence, the 6 steps of how to calm, instant calm. So how the 6 things that you can do very quickly to calm yourself down when you're kind of heightened in that fight or flight response. So the first 3 people that can comment those 6 steps, just what they are, very quickly, in the comment below, will go into a draw to win a free MACE session with me. Now, what MACE is MACE is a revolutionary new pathway. It's a shift in paradigm that allows you to permanently eliminate negative thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, the things that are holding you back, getting in the way, and stopping you from feeling happy and confident and the person you really want to be. So if you'd like that session, then comment below the 6 steps to the calming sequence, and the first 3 people will receive a free call from me so we can run through some strategies and give you some tips, personalized tips to help you with your stress. But it also helps you go in the draw. So whoever else wants to comment, you will all go into a draw, and I'm giving away one free session. So a bit of fun, a bit of prize draw that will be drawn at the end of the call tomorrow. Tomorrow's call will be at 8 a.m. Only because it's a Saturday and I have children and I have to be at soccer. So I've enjoyed sharing this with you. This one's a little bit shorter because really it's an action. It's taking the time to take the action. So remember your 5 senses. Remember to shake it off. I will get that into the email for you. If you want the tension, muscle relaxing and tension process, comment tension below. That will be given to you. And if you, and so it's those 5 senses, shaking it off or going for a walk. Just get into the habit, even if it's only 10 minutes. 10 minutes will shift your focus. Now, it's not 10 minutes thinking about your problems. Go for a walk for 10 minutes, paying attention to your 5 senses. You're going to come back clear-headed. That would be then a good time to go and look at all the worries that you've written down and work through them. As I said, here to support you. Really have been enjoying this, sharing this with you, and I really hope you're getting a lot from it. And I look forward to seeing you at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.